Hey there, Brendan Bailey here in beautiful Fort Myers, Florida, and I'm aboard the all-new Aquila 42 Power Catamaran. And we're going to start here in the Salon area of the boat. I've done, as most of you will know, I've done a lot of trips to the British Virgin Islands on Aquilas, and it seems like when people arrive on the docks, they come down the docks with their luggage. Next thing you know, this is the first place where all the memories start, is right here. So, and a popular place to hang out with you and your friends and family. So I figured it was best suited for us to start here, and we'll kind of sprawl out as people naturally do when they get on board this boat, and check it out. So come along for the ride as we start here in the dinette area. Really a great dinette, enough seating to seat, not only enough seating for everybody that's sleeping on board, but for more even. Comfortable area. And one of the things you'll notice, although we're here at the dock, you can see all the way around. You'll have beautiful scenery, depending on where you're at. Beautiful blue water. Here we're looking at mangroves all the way around us, but point being, look at the line of sight as you sit here and enjoy breakfast, dinner, games with your family, just conversation. This is where it's all going to happen, is right here. So this is kind of your great room as we translate it into real estate. So nice table area to be able to serve directly across from the galley. This does drop down, and there's a cushion that goes on here and makes this one big bedding area or lounge area. I've seen some people that drop these down, grab blankets, and they just fill this area up and hang out. So neat area, can kind of transform into how you want to use it. This particular boat does have the lower helm option. Really cool option if you want to do long range cruising. We ran into some clients as they were making the crossing back from our Abacos trip here recently in one of the locks, and they had been on their Aquila for 3 months in the Azimuts and throughout the Bahamas. And so if you want to do a lot of long range cruising, be in the air conditioning and climate controlled area, inclement weather, what a great area to have to be able to run your boat. All outfitted with the same instruments that are up top on the bridge. With a little captain station here on the side, VHF radio, all your switching, power management, as well as your water maker. This does have a 25 gallon per hour water maker on board already installed. Nice when you're in the islands, not having to go buy water, which can be expensive, as you know, if you cruise to Bahamas. It's nice to just have that on board. Hit a button, start making great water for on board, and keep those tanks full. So as we move back to the galley, love this galley configuration. I love the fact that it's kind of a U-shaped galley. Your ability to be underway and have constant ability to rest your hip on something. If you're in seas a little bit, it's nice to not just have something flat all the way down the side where you're kind of having to constantly balance. Really is a nice area if you're in here working to be able to, while you're doing dishes, you've always got some support while you're underway if you were in seas. But nice oversized sink here, tons of storage, and the storage is deep storage. It's not fake storage, as I like to call it. It's not brochure storage. This is nice deep storage all the way through this area, with lots of depth for lots of provisions. These boats are designed for long range cruising, and so you have to have the storage. If there's ever been an Aquila built for storage and extra provisions, this is the model. To me, this is a great two couple boat. Whether you're going to use it for day boating, which is one of the ones that was just recently sold here in the Fort Myers area. That's how they plan on using it. All the barrier islands here in Southwest Florida, they're going to use it as a day boat with air-conditioned cabins and the ability to come inside and kind of refresh. And if you want to stay on the hook for the night, they just stay on the hook. So it's really a good boat for long-range cruising, day boating, however you feel like you want to use it. The boat's equipped to be able to do that. But from a storage standpoint, this boat's got it. Nice over and under isotherm fridge and freezer on the bottom, fridge on the top, storage across the top, a nice tray here. You think about all the little things that you need. You want to throw your cell phone there. You want to be able to throw your glasses up here and not have them run all over the place. Even suntan lotions. It's great to have it right here by the salon door. And speaking of the salon door, I'm going to move back inside in a minute, but I can't get here without talking about this feature on the Aquila, which is this nice bar top area. Imagine sitting here, I mean, even sitting on this bar stool right now, I'm thinking about when I'm in the BVI, first thing in the morning, the eggs and bacon, sausage is all going, and here I am sitting here waiting on the food to be served before we take off to our next destination, or maybe we're having lunch, getting ready to go into the baths, or go to Sanibel and hang out at the beach. This is a really, really neat place. So let's move back inside. I'm going to start with this area in the front, and frankly, when the boat first came out, I had a hard time dealing with what is this area, because you don't see it much on a 42-foot catamaran. I've seen this in a stateroom configuration, but the ceiling was low, and it took me a minute to kind of get my head wrapped around how is that usable, how is that functional on a 42 Aquila? How is an owner-operator going to look at this as value on the boat? I can tell you, after spending a lot of time on this boat, this is an amazing spot. I call it a flex room, they call it a utility room. And I think what you're going to find as we walk through this is, if you're a boater, you're going to really understand the value that this cabin comes with. Keep in mind, I'm 6'5". I should probably start my videos with that, so you know when we're walking through the Salon exactly how much headroom we have, but now you'll know as we walk through the rest of the boat. Tons of storage through here. Storage and refrigeration is always what boaters are complaining about and asking for more of. This boat's got it. Nice washer and dryer combo unit, storage all the way around it. Wine chiller here, or bottle chiller here. This is a large, I can literally get inside of this cabinet in this closet. It's got a hanging rod, but you know, if you needed to put clothes in here, and maybe you want to have a chef, or you want to have a deckhand, maybe you don't get around on the deck quite as well as you used to. Maybe you want to bring a deckhand who's trying to get some hours to become a captain, and you want to have him come along with you so he can do all the dirty work for you. Great place for him to be able to hang out, sleep at night, and be able to put his clothes in here and all of his other stuff that goes along with it. So you've got a bunk here for a single bed. The ability to fold this up and fill this with provisions. Maybe we're going to stack water in here, whatever provisions that you might have. Great place to do that. Throw a Yeti cooler up here too. If you wanted to throw a big Yeti cooler chest in here, you could do that as well. And additional storage to the back here. This is all air conditioned, climate controlled. Close it off so you don't have to see all this from your living area and entertainment area. To me, this is a great room when you really look at this boat as a two-couple boat. The ability to have a utility room forward, so you can even put your luggage in here from your guests. I think you'll see another area on the boat in a minute that's probably a better spot for that, but it's a flex room. Use it how you see fit to be able to accommodate you and your guests. So let's move back to the starboard side stateroom, and we'll walk through that now. So here we are in the starboard hull in the starboard stateroom. So when you walk on the boat to your right, as you go down here, first thing you're going to notice is this huge bed area here. Great comfortable spot. Underneath it, additional storage and access for air conditioning systems and stuff. But nice headboard, and then check out the window that's on the side here. Beautiful window. You don't feel like you're in a cave. You have open air. You've got hatches above you, both here and in the head. Large hanging closet that's here, storage along the side, storage behind the door here. There's a cabinet. I'll show you that in just a couple minutes. One of the things that I enjoyed, I actually stayed on the 44 Aquila with my family for spring break in the British Virgin Islands back in March. And one of the things that I realized, that was the first time I'd stayed on it for an extended period, is it's really a neat way to be able to have your entire side of the boat to yourself. So literally you close that off, and what would typically be a landing to a hallway or a staircase now becomes additional stateroom walking space. You think about getting up in the morning, and a couple, you're getting ready. You have the ability to stand up, get dressed, get ready to go in the shower, and you've got space. You're not, 2 feet off your bed, and you have a door to get through. So a lot of room down here whenever you're able to close that off. And you'll see as we progress over to the port side, which we would probably consider the master stateroom, you'll see how that even gets larger on that side. So as we step in here, and one other note that I'll make on this is, most of the time on boats, and it drives me crazy as somebody who's going to walk through a boat constantly, and I'm always going to be adjusting air conditioning up and down. I don't necessarily, as a salesperson, I don't necessarily lay on the bed to do that. I'd like to be able to just walk in like most boats and hit the button and the thermostat right here on the wall as you get through the door. Well, when I lay in bed and actually use it, Aquila's thought about that, and they put the thermostat right next to your right next to where your arm would be in the bed. So when you get hot, you get cold, you can make adjustments without actually having to get up out of the bed. So something that irritated me as a sales guy doing a video, because I wasn't able to do it without it going and laying on the bed. But man, as an owner, what a great feature to have that right up there by where you're at sleeping, which is typically where you get hot and cold. So great feature that Aquila has done for us. So as I step through here, and again, 6'5", a nice head area, good cabin for the head here. And then check out this shower. You got a nice hard glass shower that's here. The ability to pull up the wand, get wet, rinse off, still be able to dry off even in here. You have enough room without having to walk out. Some showers are this big and there's no way you can get your arms out. This is big enough for me to dry off inside of here and then step out into the vanity area in the head area. So nice bowl sink, storage underneath, storage on top, and again, a beautiful window to let that light in, a porthole, as well as a skylight here. More light, more airiness, the more you feel like you've got your own space that you can be in for an extended period of time versus darkness. So love the head design, love the stateroom design, and this is for your guests that are on board. So as we move over to the port side, we're going to see the master stateroom. So let's move over there and we'll check that out. So here we are in the port side, which I consider the master stateroom on the Aquila 42. First thing you're going to notice, one, from where the camera is to me, the cameraman is in the head currently, you'll notice this nice vanity, makeup area, workstation, desk, whatever you want to call this, with some storage in it. You've got a nice plug to be able to run your laptop cord down through there, plug it in underneath. They've really thought through this, that if you're going to be on extended stays on board, it's nice to be able to do some business, pay some bills for what you might own back home. It's just nice to be able to do that. Maybe you're coordinating dockage for your next spot. You can do all that right here. So nice whole side window all the way down the side. Really, again, keeps it open. And one thing I didn't note throughout the rest of the boat so far is look at the lighting. To me, lighting is important on a boat. It really sets the tone. When you think about going to bed at night, it's nice to not have these bright LED lights on here. It's nice to just have the mood lighting around the top. Really allows you to kind of settle down and get ready to go to bed for the night. So, and it just looks beautiful. Again, nice size bed, thermostat by the headboard, storage underneath the bed, and being able to pull this over. You know, we talked about it on the other side. This is even bigger on here. So on the starboard or the port side, you've really got a lot more space over here, and closing that off really just gives you this large, you just want to get away from everybody for a little while. What a great spot to do that at and not feel like you're in a hole. So we'll trade places and I'll show you this massive storage area. Two large hanging closets. It can be her closet, or it can be her closet, and he can put his stuff on the bottom, or it can be his and her closet, depending on what your relationship looks like. So nice storage area. You can put luggage there as well if you wanted to. Really utilize that space nicely. And again, storage, the boat's got it. So you remember on the other side, we were aft into the head. Here we're forward. So the bow is here. So now we're at the pointy end of the hull. They've really utilized this space well, especially for the master. Look at this nice built-in shelf for all your shampoos and bath stuff right here. A nice seat, great seat to be able to shave your legs. Just a really, or if you're underway or in rougher seas, the ability to be able to sit down and have a good stable spot to take a shower. Windows, again, through this whole area. And of course, there's privacy shades here as well, both for the skylight and for the side windows. Storage area here, storage area here. Underneath there, you've got tons and tons of storage. Great space. Again, this is a 42-foot boat. If you compared the space on this boat, square footage on this boat, from a 42-foot monohull to a 42-foot cat, there's no comparison at all. The comfortability, livability on this boat and storage is far superior to any monohull in its class. So let's take a walk outside and let's check out some of the outside entertainment areas now. All right, so here we are on the aft deck of the 42 Aquila. This is where things start to really get fun for me. When I think about this boat, I can't even stand on the back of an Aquila without thinking about being on the islands. The tender's launched, it's off the back, it's tied to the cleat, we've got the paddle boards out. This is where a lot of fun happens, right? We may use this as our landing platform to go to the island, go to the beach. Just a really, really neat spot. So seating all the way across this back, you have the ability to fold this table up and make it a little shorter so you're not having to get in, you know, if you're only, if you've only got the 4 of you or however, you can just sit here with a smaller table, or you've got it wide open like this to seat everybody. Some nice folding teak chairs across here would give you the ability to seat even more people and really give you that feel of community. Maybe you're going to meet some people at the restaurant, you're going to meet some people at the bar or the beach, invite them back to the boat. You got space to seat them all back here and have fun and play. So again, we've talked about this area. Bar top, 2 bar stools, inside out, the ability to be able to walk freely. Look how wide this door is. And again, this is a beautiful door, polished stainless steel door, but look how wide they made it. And just inside is your refrigeration. So think about when you're serving, when you're on board, people are getting their drinks. They don't have to go all the way forward to go grab that. It's right here. It may be wet, they may be a little sandy. Kind of keeps it contained in this area here. So in the floors, your engine room hatches. We won't go down there. There's not a lot of fun that goes on down there. It's just engines and mechanical rooms, but really easy to service, really easy to maintain whenever you do need to. So tender davit, you have this coming off the back. You actually can crank it with this to make it go out, and then crank it to make it come back in. And then you have a remote that makes it electronically go up and down. So you're not really doing any grunt work. All you're doing with the crank is cranking it out just to get it out, extended over the back edge of the boat, and then hitting a button to do the heavy lifting, right? Nobody would want to crank a tender up and down. 500 pounds is the limitation on that, so a great little high-filled tender is a great solution for this boat. Look at the amount of deck space back here. These holes on this boat are really wide, which is what makes it run so good. The boat's going to cruise at around 16.5 knots, and it's going to burn about 16.5 gallons, I think, actually, at cruise too. So really, when you consider cruise on a lot of big monohull yachts at being 50 plus gallons per hour, a catamaran's a totally different experience for you for sure. So really, really makes it for, with the whole design on this, makes for a great entertainment area back here. You think about sitting over the edge, you got the tender launched. This area is clean once the tender is off, which really gives you a nice entertainment platform. And then look at these ladders. There hasn't been a lot of innovation when it comes to ladders and boating or yachting in the past 20 decades. But I will say, Aquila's always done a really good job on how they build their ladders. They're comfortable, they're easy. You don't have to be tall like me to be able to get your first step. This is a 5-step ladder that goes all the way down. It's got nice teak footings on it, so it's comfortable. It's not narrow, they're big wide steps, but that'll slide right down, drops. It makes it really easy for somebody to get in who's not a gymnast. You can just be a regular person to be able to get in and out of an Aquila, and they do a great job of that. And it's a beautiful ladder. So we'll step back here into the cockpit, and I love how everything's nice and clean and gel coat, not a bunch of vinyl panels. If you've owned a boat before, I kind of take a service mind a lot when I look at these, and I think vinyl panels, wood, time's gonna age them. They're gonna get tired, they're gonna get warped with moisture and heat. Not this. Use a buffer, buff them every however long. They're not getting any sun, so they're gonna look like this most of the time, but there's really no maintenance involved here. There isn't really any, 10-year-old decade or refits in 10 years. This is just gonna stay looking like this. Put a coat of wax on it and it looks great all the time. So just keeps everything nice and fresh, and they haven't over-contented this cockpit area. There's not just tons of cables and wires and stainless steel. They've made everything nice, clean, shiny, gel coat, wash it down with a water hose, buff and wax it, and it's in great shape. So you'll see these stairs that go up to the Flybridge. They're built in. They're not on a wood pole or on a pole with wood steps down them. They're actually built in, and again, sticking with the theme of easy maintenance and easy care, the ability to just walk up and down, and frankly, they're beautiful. They're wide steps, and the ability to be able to hold on and be secure as you walk up and down, whether you're in seas or not in seas, it's just an easy boat to walk up and transition up to where we're going to go next, which is the Flybridge, which is going to be, to me, your number 2 biggest entertainment area on this boat, especially in the evenings, it feels like, or underway. So let's transition upstairs and we'll check out the Flybridge. All right, so here we are, the number 2 most popular spot for people to hang out, and especially at night and while underway, this is where it happens. If you're like me and you love to sing along while you're on the boat, I like to grab the iPad, I like to pass it around the table, and everybody's going to sing their favorite song, whether they like it or not. It's just part of what you do when you're hanging out on an Aquila yacht or any other yacht and you're in the islands. It's time to have fun. So anyways, so we'll start back here. Another dining area. It feels like a lot of people will have breakfast up here too, or evening dinners or lunches. A nice breeze up here when all the isinglass is down. This is a great spot to hang out. This has 2 mounted tables here with cup holders built into them in the middle, and they're stainless steel cup holders. They're not cheap plastic cup holders. You're not going to have to maintain these. You're not going to blow out. They're stainless steel polished cup holders that don't have to be maintained. So a nice feature. If you've owned a boat before, you'll see the value in that. This has a filler. It's got 2 barrel bolts that actually fill this in. It's kind of nice if you don't have it in. You can store it underneath, and then you can walk in and out of here without having to ask everybody to move out. So I love the way, the flexibility of that. When you think about 2 couples being on board, I think it fits and it really works well. You've got a nice ice maker here at the top too for making drinks from up here. And again, the Kenyan grill. Love the Kenyan grill. Grill here, serve here. I don't think it gets much better than this. You got a sink here to rinse things off, and a storage area you can put some trash. But look at this surface area. I always find myself on the other models that have kind of the same feature. I find myself sitting here quite a bit, just carrying on a conversation. You can use it as a bar top if you wanted to. Seating all the way down the side here. One neat feature that they added to it is the flexibility to either have tons of seating or a lounge spot here to either be able to face back and watch the wake as we're running, or face forward if you're underway and you want to cruise looking forward. So here's our helm station. Got 2 seats. Got your mate and first mate. The ability to sit here with all the same instrumentation that you had downstairs. Volvo Penta. This boat does have the 300 horsepower upgraded Volvo Penta D4 diesels. Again, it's going to run around 16 knots, burning about 16 gallons an hour. Top speed on this boat is going to only be around 21 knots. That's not what this boat's for. This boat's made to cruise, listen to Jimmy Buffett, and just make your way to the islands on your time. Autopilot on board. This one does have the optional bow thruster. Doesn't need it due to the fact your boat has a 21-foot beam. The ability to control it with just your props is great. So, but for that extra help, maybe pushing over to a piling so you can get your dock lines on, it is nice to have that. Your mate will appreciate it. So one of the things that I really like about Aquila, and it's on most of their models, and it was kind of one of their staples when they first designed their first boats, was the ability to walk forward. When you think about an owner-operator, maybe it's just you and your first mate that are going out, the ability to be able to see where you're going, especially if you're getting on a mooring ball or dropping anchor, the ability to see all that happening from an elevated view with direct communication is second to none on an Aquila. Once you get in place, you have the ability to walk straight forward. And now you can come down and help, whether it be with the ground tackle to be able to get your anchors out, getting on a mooring ball and helping get your line secured. It's really nice to be able to walk straight here versus going off the aft deck and walking all the way up the side. You're able to really run this boat as a couple really easy, and I believe that having that feature there really makes that work a lot better. So nice sun loungers up front here. You've got all this deck space. Why not be able to lay out and hang out up here? I can tell you, If my kids or my wife weren't sitting on here while underway with their legs out, then they're going to be laying up here and enjoying the run across to wherever we're going. So I want to show you one more feature on this. When you opt for the utility room inside, or the flex room as I call it, I can't even explain to you how much storage is in there. I bet you have 10 foot of headroom in there. And when you think about storing, I mean, you could put a fully inflated paddleboard in there. You can put all the water you want to, any gear, all your provisions if you wanted to, luggage, anything you need to put in there, you can put in there. And it's an amazing space. And I don't know that you would really have to buy any other provisions while you were on island if you had that much provision space. So a great option on this boat as well. Again, thinking long range, thinking cruising for 2 couples, long term being on board. You've got plenty of storage. And honestly, I think this boat may have more storage than even a 54 or a 44. I think with this feature in it, you've picked up more utility storage space than any other model they make. So let's walk down this side over here. As is true on any Aquila, the ability to work the deck, and by work the deck, having your mate be able to easily move from bow to stern, from port to starboard safely and on a flat deck. If you look through here, there are no elevation changes, and across the bow where the cameraman and I just walked across is completely flat. All the way around, non-skid surface. Just nice, safe, easy, and not having to think about, ooh, where's that step fixing to come in at where I'm going to drop off. You don't run into that on this boat. And to me, that's a great feature, and your mate will appreciate it because he or she aren't having to constantly worry about stubbing their toes or anything. This is nice and flat, and look how wide this is. With a nice safety grab handle here and a high bow rail here, a transition from bow to stern is very easy. And then as you get to the cockpit, you have 3 nice molded in steps to where you're back here at your aft cleat, ready to tie off, ready to hang that fender. It's a nice transition from bow to stern. And then you're right back into the cockpit. So I'm Brendan Bailey with MarineMax here at beautiful Fort Myers, Florida. I'd love to walk you through this boat. I have some docktail events that are going to be coming up on this boat, so you can step aboard and check it out. Love to see you there. Love to talk to you about how Aquila might fit into your world. And give me a shout at any time at 972-670-8211. Thanks, and bye-bye.